So I am back at work after another week off because we had a whole bunch of heat suspensions and humidity suspensions, and the 2 days that we could work, I have a driver and I didn't want to take the shift away from her. That's not nice to do. So I actually just kind of played video games all week, taking a page out of my boyfriend's book because I'm not usually too into them, but I've been doing Zelda Breath of the Wild because I bought it on sale a million years ago and I've never played it. So I'm about 2 weeks in. It's very time consuming. I've just been doing that for many hours. But something I want to mention in it is I really like how I feel like they reached out to an equestrian when they were making that game. One thing is a lot of video games just have horses like walk and gallop and like that's it. This actually like elaborates on the fact that horses walk, trot, canter, and then gallop, and that they have these like 4 gaits normally most of the time. So I thought that was interesting that they did that. And the thing I really like is that you have to create a bond with your horse, riding your horse and praising them when they do something right or they're nervous. You reassure them to get your bond with your horse up to a max level. And I thought that that is so similar to the partnership you actually have with a horse that we have when we drive our horses, or a lot of people have when they ride their horses. And I just thought that it was like very accurate and nice of them to point out that when you work with a horse, it's partnership. You don't just sit and ride on it like a machine. And that detail was really interesting to put that like in a video game. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was also going to mention that as much as I do like this job, there's weird stresses where like if you look at the weather app on your phone, it'll give you like an estimate of the humidity level and the temperature, so you have a ballpark idea of maybe getting a suspension that day or around what time, because what it actually goes off of is the temperature and humidity level on the actual horse carriage stand at the park, read off of the mounted police horse unit's thermometer. And so that can vary by about like 20 degrees all over the city, what that actually comes out to. You'll be like waking up in the morning and you're like, it's right on the borderline of when we get suspended for the humidity, like, and then it drops. Say it's like, you know, you get 150 some because it's 80 degrees plus the humidity level is 70%. And that would be 150 at 10 a.m. But at 10:30 a.m., it's only 140, just suddenly drops. So now you have to decide, am I able to come out and work for only an hour? Do I wait a half hour and then it drops? Will it actually be that same reading at the park? And the same thing goes when it's a rainy day. You know, it might say it's likely going to rain. So you're like, all right, I'll take that day off. And it doesn't rain at all. Or it says it's not going to rain. So you come out to work and all of a sudden there's a thunderstorm and you're stuck in it. So it is so stressful to decide if you should go to work, if it's worth coming in or not. Especially when you have to pay, you know, gas or MetroCard or congestion pricing in your car, or, you know, the tipping the stableman to help get your horse ready, or buying your lunch, or, you know, all that kind of stuff that it costs, the expense to get to work. And you're like, am I just going to be in the negative because I'm going to show up at the stable and it turns out I can't even work? Or I'm going to take my horse out and by the time I get to the park, I get suspended and I have to turn around and just go back? And that's completely pointless. So it's like you play this stressful game where you don't want to miss a day of work if you can go in, and you get like really stressed out if you're like, oh, it didn't rain today, I should have gone in, and you didn't. And it's just like drives us all crazy. So we have a little group chat with the industry where we're always playing this guessing game. I correctly guessed for like 2 weeks straight, which is pretty awesome. So people are actually asking me like I have this inside information, but I'm like, no, it's just luck and reading the apps and thinking about what that usually means at our hack line, that kind of thing. But no, it's all just kind of a game. Again, it's annoying and it sucks, but to me it's worth it to get to work with my horse, and that's just, you know, kind of sacrifice you make to have this kind of job.